Theme park simulators, from classic games to forgotten and obscure ones. Today we're diving deep into the ultimate iceberg of virtual amusement parks, exploring the classics, the controversies, the hidden gems, and the future of this beloved gaming genre. Let's dive into a world of theme park games. Planet Coaster. Alright folks, let's kick things off at the tip of our theme park video game iceberg. These are the games that even your non-gamer friends have probably heard of. The classic, the legends, the big names. Planet Coaster was developed by Frontier Development. This masterpiece hit the gaming scene in 2016. What makes Planet Coaster a true marvel is its mind-blowing coaster builder. Seriously folks, it's like having the keys to your very own theme park kingdom, allowing for freedom. The coaster models themselves are also very good. Planet Coaster also has a variety of flat rides that are very realistic. They also have stores which do look okay. Transport rides and dark rides are also available. Planet Coaster allows for the creation of immersive dark rides, something quite special for a simulation game. Unfortunately, the scenery is where Planco is lacking, having big pieces and very confusing user interface. It can cause building to be quite stressful, at least for me personally. There are also many DLC, my favorite being Studios. Many people find this to be an awesome game to build with. Next up, Roller Coaster Tycoon 1 and 2, classic. Developed by Chris Sawyer Productions, these games are the OGs, the trailblazers, and the reason many of us fell in love with building our own theme parks. First released in 1999 and 2002 respectively, these games introduce us to the joys of managing every little detail and going bankrupt, from ticket prices to overcharging the toilets and the umbrellas. They feature many similarities, thus they were put together on this entry. RCT is filled with nostalgia, whether it's the simplistic scenery or the beautiful trees. The coaster builder also stood the test of time, allowing for semi-realistic coaster models at a mouse click away. There were many expansions to these classic games, and even some real parks were included, mostly owned by Six Flags. RCT 1 and RCT 2 remain a classic to this day. Park Beyond. Park Beyond is a new game released for the major platforms. It is focused more on the impossible aspects of theme parks. I mean, they included a cannon on the roller coaster. You can arrange your park as well as focus on those business side of things. However, what makes this game so special is the impossifier aspect, meaning you make a ride impossible. This game is for a younger audience, or people who want to get into the genre, and might anger some fans who are looking for realism. Should you get Park Beyond? Well, personally I do not recommend it at its steeper price. Jurassic World Evolution 1 and 2. Wanna build your own Jurassic Park? Well, now you can. Made by the same people as Planet Coasters, these games take cues from the movies. Coasters and rides are not the focus, rather it's the dinos, so it's more like a zoo game. However, you can build shops, restaurants, and even hotels. Jurassic World Evolution 2 improved the series a whole lot, fixing a lot of the problems the original game had. Unfortunately, it is super expensive, guys. Overall, both of these games will allow you to build your dream Jurassic Park and then let the dinos out. Next up is my favorite theme park simulator, Parkitect, a love letter to the golden age of theme park simulator games developed by Textile Raptor. This gem hit the digital shelves of the cyberspace in 2016. What sets Parkitect apart is its charm and attention to detail, bringing you back to the old RCT days, but with modern designs and graphics. What I like most about Parkitect? Well, it's the scenery and the ability of customization. You have everything from walls to basic shapes, which allow you to build almost everything, and if you can't build everything, well, you have mods via the Steam Workshop, which will make your theme park 10 times better. I'm not very good at building roller coasters, and Parkitect does its job well. The coaster builder is okay, it's not as good as Planet Coasters, but it works fine. Should you get this game? My favorite part about Parkitect is building your dream park with a mouse click away. Should you get this game? Well, absolutely. Now guys, let's dive a bit deeper into the world of mostly forgotten park games. Roblox as theme park simulator. Roblox is a game that, let's be frank, is mostly played by 11-year-olds and scammers. But the cool thing about it is that there are many mini-games within the game, and one of these examples is Theme Park Tycoon 2. While the name Roblox might intimidate some, TPY2 is out of this world. With great looking coasters and impressive scenery, it's like a modern version of RCT 3. And speaking of that, Roller Coaster Tycoon 3. Released in 2004 by Frontier Developments, Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 was a game changer. It took the charm of the first two Roller Coaster Tycoon games, added a dash of modern graphics. Suddenly, our beloved roller coasters, gentle rides, and broken flat rides and vomits came to life in 3D. Now let's compare it to the predecessors. RCT 1 and 2 were like the wise elders, teaching us the basic of theme park management, and RCT 3 was the new cool kid on the block. There's the coaster builder for RCT 3. Oh boy, it was a game changer with its robust toolkit and intricate customization option. Building coasters became like an art, or more like a disaster if you built unrealistic coasters. It was the bridge between the classic charm of the first two games and the modern complexity we see in games like Planet Coaster, using City Skylines as a theme park simulator. City Skylines is like a modern version of SimCity. You build your city, you destroy it with a meteor or tsunami. You probably heard of it, but if you grab the Park Life DLC, you can build an amusement park. And with the power of the Steam Workshop, you can get assets like Disneyland Paris Castle. Building a park in City Skylines without mods is basically a theme park tycoon for babies, and even with mods, you don't really get much. There's not much customization allowed. Roller Coaster Tycoon World controversy. In the world of gaming, not every story is a fairy tale. Roller Coaster Tycoon World, released in 2016, was a highly anticipated installment in the beloved franchise. Fans were eager to see what new heights their imagination could reach in this modern iteration of the franchise. However, the game was a disaster. As the game hit the shelves, it quickly became apparent that something was missing. Glitches, luckbuster graphics, and horrible coaster designs, and the general feeling of unfinished business plagued the game. It was as if the roller coaster had derailed before it even left the station, or more like a rollback. The game itself was an inferior version of RCT. The coaster builder worked better as an spaghetti maker, because if you wanted realism, well, you better go somewhere else or maybe get some rest. The controversy that followed was intense. The gaming community, particularly the fans of Roller Coaster Tycoon, voiced their concerns loud and clear. They felt betrayed, feeling that the game they have been promised was far from what was delivered. Expectations were high. RCT World fell far short of the marks. Now, why was this controversy so significant? It is a cautionary tale, a reminder that even beloved franchises can stumble and fall, but it's also a testament to the passion of the gaming community, the importance of transparency and the need for quality in an industry built on dreams and imagination. The disaster of RCT World led to Planet Coaster being the go-to theme park simulator game for the decade, at least. OpenRCT. Imagine having the power of Roller Coaster Tycoon 1 and 2. Yes, imagine adding an RMC to your park. Well, that's possible with OpenRCT 2. OpenRCT 2 is not a game, it is an addition that makes RCT 2 better, and thus it's kind of legal. I'm not a lawyer, so I'm not going to voice my opinion on that. Indoor Land. Indoor Lands is a game that allows you to build an indoor amusement park. Developed by Pixel Split from Germany and released in 2021, this is a very fun looking game. There are many scenery customization options, allowing you to create your own little world inside a box. Managing your park can be a challenge, however. Theme Park World, or Sim Theme Park in the United States. This is an EA game that was released in 1999. It also featured some very creepy mascots. Similar to Park Beyond, this game focused more on the fantastical and impossible sides of theme parks rather than being super realistic. If you want ultra realism, well, you should try our next entry, Nolimits 1 and 2. Both of these games focus on the realistic, coaster building aspects. So much so that even real amusement parks use it to display their newest attractions. Nolimits also works as a ride operator simulator, so if you want ultra realism, maybe you should try out this game. Disney Coaster. Disney has been on the forefront of theme park simulators for some time, as Epcot Center had a coaster builder when it opened in 1982. Later, Disney would publish Coaster, video game developed in 1993 by Code2Go. The game was very basic. You had the coaster builder that you build your own coasters and you rode them. For 1993, this must have been a game changer. Then came Ultimate Ride, another Disney game that allowed you to build roller coasters. This time in 2001, what made it special was the fact you could share your creations via a website with the power of cyberspace. Disney's Magic Kingdoms. Disney Magic Kingdoms is a mobile game where you can build a Disney park, or more like spend a bunch of real-life money on microtransactions. This is no coaster builder, it works more like a Simpsons Tap It Out, where you wait and wait and wait and wait. Scream Ride is a 2015 game that focuses on super unrealistic scenarios. The game features many locations, some of which are not within a park. It feels more like a sci-fi game than a theme park one. Thrillville series. Developed by Frontier, the series takes players on a joyful journey into the heart of theme park management, exploration and pure entertainment. Thrillville, the inaugural game, released in 2006. A year later came Thrillville Off the Rails, where madness begins. Thrillville could be considered as a predecessor to Planet Coaster. We have reached forgotten and obscure waters of an iceberg. Roller Coaster Tycoon World spin-offs. Let's start off with Roller Coaster Tycoon Touch, which by the way has a super scary logo. This is a mobile game that brings some elements of the controversial RCT World to your phone, I guess, so you can be embarrassed in public. The game allows you to build the ugliest, most unrealistic coasters you can probably imagine. If RCT World was an spaghetti simulator, this is more like a trash simulator. Then they decided to port this to the Nintendo Switch with Roller Coaster Tycoon Adventures and RCT Adventures Deluxe. It does work like the mobile game with UI improvements and better user experience. However, don't waste your money and time on this game. Get Parkitect instead. Roller Coaster Tycoon Joyride. Wanna experience these coasters in VR? Well, you can now, except it's from like 5 years ago, so it's not good VR. Now guys, get ready for the most weird game ever on this entire iceberg, RCT Puzzle. Yeah, imagine Candy Crush, but with Roller Coaster Tycoon. I mean, who came up with this idea? What is the point of this? What were they thinking? This honestly doesn't make any sense. This has got to be the worst way possible to use the RCT IP. Planet Coaster 2. There is a Planet Coaster game, but why is there no sequel to it? Many fans want a sequel, but we saw no announcement of one. Planet Coaster was released in 2016 and it's almost 2026 again. So is Planet Coaster 2 coming? Well, if you want to see more theme park management, click these videos on the screen right now and enjoy the ride, guys.